Kevin here with another unique story for the running community. Before we talk about the 2023 Knoxville, Tennessee Marathon, I wanted to share a related story that's a little personal to me. It's called How Kevin Ended Up Waist Deep in a Public Fountain at 7:30 in the morning on Marathon Sunday. Enjoy. The Knoxville Marathon is only about 30 minutes from where I live. It's a full weekend with a lot of different events. Sunday is the relays, the half marathon, and the full marathon. On Saturday is the kids race and a 5K, and also a vendor expo where brands like ours get to share some of our wares. Like this marathoner sleeveless hoodie. Oh, it's super light. It makes me look jacked. I don't know what the number is on the back. Or, for her, this RunnerMrch Lift Repeat tank top. It's super soft and it covers my pooch. The point is, I was going to be at the marathon location the day before, so I'd be able to map out my film locations. I knew I was going to film at the starting point and also somewhere near the finish, so those are two. And then I picked another point about 9 miles in and another one about 18 miles in. So in my mind, I was going to film at the start, drive ahead of the pack, film from there, drive another to 18, film from there, and then to finish. I was most excited about the starting line footage because I was going to be below where the race starts, which is on a bridge. I was going to be below there, and I was going to get to break out my birthday drone for the first time, which my wife Marianela had gotten me. So I was very excited about that. In my mind, I was going to film this cinematic shot where I was going to come up from below the bridge and see everybody and then kind of film an aerial from there. So fast forward to Sunday, Marathon Sunday. So we're up at the crack of dawn and driving to the marathon. Parking's a little bit tough, so I'd recommend getting there very early, but we were running late for time. By the time I got to the starting point, I had about 5 minutes before the race starts. So I kind of rush around and I get the drone off the ground and she's up sitting pretty, she's right above the crowd, and then I look down at my controller and it basically says I left the lens cap on. So yeah, that was great. So with these newer drones, they self-land, they avoid obstacles, so it's literally idiot-proof. So I hit the landing sequence and it starts to come back. I can hear it, but I can't see it. About 30 seconds later, it's about 70 yards away from me. I can see it, it's above my head. And I just watch it kind of hover there for a second, and then bang, it just drops out of the sky, hits the top of a tree, and then bounces into the middle of the public fountain. So it's about 45 degrees out that morning. It's basically freezing cold, and I'm just like sitting there like I'm in a cartoon, like that just happened to me, really. And I just said, wow, my wife's probably gonna kill me if I lose this thing. So I took off as many clothes as I could. Waist deep in water. Luckily there's no one around to see me, but I grabbed the drone and kind of hurried back. The lights were actually still on, so I'm like, whoa, maybe I could film, but it wasn't ready, and I wasn't ready either. So I just put it in the back of the truck for the rest of the day. Good news is she's okay, and you'll be seeing drone footage starting in the next video. But I swear that's a 100% true story, and I hope you enjoyed it. So let's get back to the marathon itself. Let's talk to somebody who actually ran it, my wife, Marianela.
Hello everybody, so we are here to talk about the Knoxville Marathon. I told you this marathon was going to be a training day, but with the marathon you can never have a training day, right? So that's the reason the marathon is such a challenging distance. But the way I scheduled the training for Canyons Ultra coming up by UTMB, I'm going to do the 50K there. I wanted this to be my peak week with this marathon and then start tapering from here. So let's see what happened. So let me show you. So the marathon it has like 1,000 feet of elevation, if I'm not mistaken. You can see it in my Strava. So it's here almost 1,500 feet of elevation, right? So it's not a it's flat race. If you're looking to qualify for Boston, I wouldn't pick this race. You have a lot of elevation, so I would pick something more flat. But it's an amazing training. Now, the race organization is fantastic in this race. The people, the neighborhood is just, you have neighborhoods, you are crossing an entire neighborhood is the party. So, which it makes the miles go super fast because you are entertained by all the people, being part of this race. So that's fantastic. So, okay, let's start here. So you can see, we start going up very quick. So then start getting very easy. So you're going here through downtown. So it's gorgeous, this view. The weather was fantastic. The weather was absolutely perfect. So it was a little bit chilly, but as soon as you start the race and all the adrenaline, so it was a perfect weather throughout. Okay, so then you start feeling some hills at mile fourth. So you start getting into the neighborhoods here, and these start all the Sequoia Hills, which actually the neighborhoods are competing among them for, if I'm not mistaken, is some funding. So they really put a lot of work to be part of this race. So between the signs, the additional aid stations, everything with the custom. So it's amazing. So Sequoia really did a great job, and they won that competition. So these miles go super easy with all the entertainment in from the neighbors. So this is fantastic. Then you start feeling that hill there at mile 8. That's a very hard hill there. You can see it, and then you start going really easy, getting in the Greenway. The Greenway is a trail path which is just gorgeous. It's fantastic. So you are going to really enjoy this part. And honestly speaking, the elevation in this race is mostly in the first half. If you're doing the half marathon, you're going to feel this elevation here. So, but the second half is much easier. You don't have all that elevation, so which is great. So, one very important thing in this race, there are a lot of relays teams. So it was impressive to see relays stations where they exchange the runners throughout the entire course. So it was like fantastic to have that a new energy from these runners, doing the exchange relay all throughout the course. I don't know how often they did it, but I think it was pretty often. So if you have a team, you have a family group, a friends group you want to put together, this race is perfect for relays. So, okay, so we keep going. We get to mile 12. Now we are hitting the highways. So, and here is where at this distance the uh, people split up. The half marathon split up, and the marathoners continue to go with the relays team. It gets very quiet very soon. So all the fun you have until the half marathon, they start getting very quiet. So you get into the neighborhoods under the bridge. It's super quiet here. So it's very easy compared with the first half. But at this point, you're kind of just tired. Mile 15, 18, you start feeling that all those miles, right? So I was kind of cruising until this point. I think mile 15, 16, I was just cruising, enjoying, and having a lot of fun. But at this point, I got a cramp in my leg, in the back of my leg, in my right leg, and I felt that cramp. It's the first time I got a cramp. I have an idea why that happened. Of course, something I did wrong the day before, but there I start feeling that cramp, and I couldn't get rid of it. So I tried to stop, and when I was seeing those water stations the firefighters use to actually, they are on the streets, they have a knob on the top. They were fantastic to massage my leg. So every time I was seeing one of those, I was stopping and just massaging my leg there, so to get rid of that cramp. So that got kind of difficult at the point, but I was just dealing with that cramp all over this area. So then we get to this highway. The view was great from there. It was very nice. We crossed the river, and that view, just crossing the river, those bridges, I never did it before. It was the first time I actually was crossing the Tennessee River in through one of these bridges. It's just beautiful. And then it comes this part which it's a never-ending part, to be honest with you. It's just flat, it's easy, it's a beautiful neighborhood, really enjoyable. But I was with my cramp, and it's kind of you go out and come back, you see, you go out and come back, and it was never ending. I didn't know where this actually turned, right? So, but that was very long part of the race for me. So here I saw the relays exchanging, so I knew I was very close at this point, and you get back to cross the river in another section, also gorgeous, beautiful place. And then you get into downtown, which is funny because you cross the downtown, everybody is having lunch, enjoying, and that's just one path the runners cross between, all the sitting areas in the sidewalk. So it's very fun, but everybody is sitting, eating, and cheering for all the runners coming along. So that was very fun. And then you're there, then ready to the finish line. So it was a great day. I have this cramp, I couldn't get rid of it, but it made things tougher by the end, but I really enjoy it. It's a race I could definitely do again. It's local, and honestly, the effort and energy everybody puts in this race, from the local organizations, the volunteers, the race director, all the neighborhoods, honestly, is a party for entire Knoxville, and you feel it that. So I'm happy, with this big week and getting ready for UTMB. So from Canyons Ultras, and now I'm tapering mode, just, eating as much as I can, testing gear to make sure I have all my mandatory gear, and excited for this new phase. Let's see if I can get those stones for the lottery. So pleasure talking to you. If you have any question about this race, just put it in the comments, so we'll get back to you. So happy miles, people.